What's good? Good morning. It's Sunday, October 17th, 2021. I wanted to talk a little bit more about spiritual warfare and continue from what I talked about with my coworkers at work. The enemy, he comes out of the blue. And if your mind is not strong, he can easily control it. The reason why the enemy can't, I'm not going to say can't, but the reason why it's hard for the enemy to control me is because I have God living within me. His Bible verses live within me. So I know what truth is. I stand by truth. Even when I'm accused of things that I know I did not do, I know I'm going to stand in truth because I know who's attacking me, okay? So when it comes to my coworkers, like the woman that I had a shouting match with, and I was wrong for even having the shouting match. You know, but at the time, me and her never argued. She's been the one that she was like my mentor, like she was a mentor to me at the post office. She told me everything that I pretty much know, or gave me the advice to go to this person to find out information. So it hurts me from the things that she was saying that I know it was not true. She said I'm a big bully. All I do is bully all the women at the post office. But I'm like, I've been working with y'all for about 3.5 years. So when have I bullied? Like I wanted to say, I haven't even had the chance. When have I ever disrespected you? Disrespected, the other co-workers? And even the new one that done came, she's really out of control. Like, she ain't even been there for a month. And, I'm a closing clerk, so, I count the money at night. Well, I'm not even supposed to count the money no more. Like, my position done changed, but the woman that I had the shouting match with, she's been there for like 30 years, and they're so stubborn and stuck in their ways. It's like she's kind of forcing me to count the money, even though she's supposed to be counting the money, because I'm supposed to be doing all the paperwork now. But, I'll count the money for right now until I go to my classes and everything else, and then I'll make it known to the supervisor. Since I'm a bad employee and I'm, I'm doing things that I ain't supposed to be doing, but I'm constantly working, but I haven't got written up. Yes, I done missed some days because of, my child's being sick, but I'm covered by the federal government and, laws that was passed because of the COVID. But, it is what it is. I'm not just taking days off just to be taking days off. Supervisor, she don't know what she's doing. She still scheduled me. Like, when I got the new position, I got weekends off. And, the rule is, if they need you to work, they got to call you. Well, they got to tell you that it's mandatory. I'm not on no overtime board or anything. They got to call. They got to pretty much, from what I'm told, they physically got to tell you to come work. But we don't have a supervisor at the station. She's at a different station. But she puts up these schedules, which already have a set schedule. So why are you even putting up a schedule? Look, it's just crazy. She don't do her job, bottom line. And people get mad at me because I'm playing the game and I'm playing the rules. But they need to be getting mad at her. Don't get mad at me. I ain't did nothing wrong. Because if I was doing something wrong, guess who would let me know? God. The conviction inside of me would have been like, you know what, Rashad? That's not something I'll do. But I'm off on my off days. But anyway, man, like the new girl, it's a key that they give to me, right? So she calls herself putting the key next to my station, and I simply asked her before she leaves. So she, she got to go lock up her money, and then normally by what we all do, you hand the key or you let the person know that you're giving them the key. She don't say nothing. She just places the key down. Luckily, I seen her. She ain't saying, here go your key. She's not handing it to me. She's not doing anything. So, I kind of stopped and I said, hey. I'm like, hey. And she's like, I don't want to talk to you. I'm like, what, huh? Now, I ain't talked to this girl all day. That day. I ain't talked to her not one time because I could sense the animosity. I could sense something's wrong, right? Now, when you at work, you're supposed to keep it workly. You ain't supposed to have, you should still be able to be cordial and work. I'm not talking to you, but I haven't said nothing to you. I haven't did anything to you. So this is how I know it's the enemy, because I'm like, when I try to talk to her, she's constantly dismissing me, right? And I'm trying to ask her, what did I do to you? Guess the answer that she gives me? Nothing. I'm trying to talk to you. Instead of addressing it and telling me what I did to you or what you believe I did to you, you don't even want to talk. You don't even want to communicate. We're grown adults. I'm not in your face. I'm not screaming. I'm not calling you names. I'm just trying to, hey, what's going on? Because me asking you to simply hand over a key to me or let it be known that you're dropping the key off should not lead to you dismissing me. So she's getting loud. She's walking away. Mad disrespectful. She saw my, I don't want to talk to you. I ain't going to answer. But I'm like, what did I do? So I know it's spiritual now, because I know I ain't did nothing to her. I've been trying to help her since she started. I haven't did nothing. I don't gossip. I don't talk. If I said anything to another coworker, it's like, you can't tell her anything, so I'm not going to tell her anything. But that's not the case, because I've been helping her. You see what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, everybody else is saying the same thing. So it's whatever, So now when I go to work, I really got nobody to talk to. I got no friends, nobody I can talk to. It is what it is. I'll go to work, do my job, and that's it. So, but like I said, when the enemy attacks, he comes. So now it done came over to the house. I try to talk to my wife. Once again, she's acting funny. When I bring up issues that's bothering me, it's a bad thing to bring up issues. Now I'm giving her a lecture. I'm bringing up issues that I feel she needs to be aware of when it comes to our marriage. But it's a lecture. I'm like, it's the wrong time to be talking. So I'm like, okay, if I talk to you in the morning, it's a problem. If I try to talk to you in the afternoon, it's a problem. If I try to talk to you at night, it's a problem. And when I'm trying to talk to you, it becomes a lecture. But look, check this out. But we ain't had a spiritual fight, right? She ain't got to the point where she's socking me or calling me, calling me names. But the enemy tried last night. You know what I'm saying? He tried last night. So check this out. My son, from a video that I talked about earlier, he's 16, but he want to smoke weed. I don't smoke weed. Ain't no weed in the house. My wife don't smoke weed. So he ain't getting it from us. I don't know what his mother do, but he been living with us for like the last 4-5 months. So I pick him up from work because he just got a job, his first job. Pick him up from work, and I pick him up from work. Give me a second, people. He comes home, he goes into the bathroom. Now, I noticed when my son goes into the bathroom, he turns on the fan for the bathroom. And I'm like, why is you turning on the fan every time you go to the restroom? But I'm not even tripping. It is what it is, right? So I'm not tripping. And, but last night, he just came home, right? He goes into the bathroom. Now, he's been working all day. I'm in the bed, you know, I'm in the bed because I'm like, okay, it's a regular, you know, just a regular night. Pick him up, drop him off, he takes a shower, keeps it pushing. So, my wife, she comes into the room. She said, go smell the bathroom. I go in the bathroom smell like weed. Okay, my mother-in-law's there. She ain't smoking weed. The baby girl sure ain't smoking weed. I ain't smoking weed. My wife ain't smoking weed. But the bathroom smells like weed. So I go in the room to interrogate my son. He lying all in my face. Oh, it's a coworker. You know, the bathroom smells like weed because he wants to say it's coming from his clothes because a coworker smokes weed right out in the back on his break. And, you know, the door's open and it goes in. Like, he's coming with all these silly lies. I'm just looking at him like, okay. So you gonna tell me, like, I'm just listening. You know, when you're a parent, you just listen to the bull lies that's coming from their mouth, right? So I'm like, okay, let me smell your clothes. Don't smell no clothes. His clothes don't smell like weed. Then the bag that he took to work, I'm like, let me see your bag. He didn't know I was going to call for it. He brings me the bag. Hold on one second. He hands me the bag. Open the bag. I take a sniff. I don't smell no weed in the bag. Okay, so where's this weed at? Right? I'm like, he got some weed on him unless he smoked up all the weed, but so I'm like, where's this weed at? So now I tell him to dump the bag out. He dumps the bag out. Ain't no weed. I don't see nothing. Pop out. So I'm like, okay. I tell him, hey, trust and believe I will be going through your stuff in the house. You know, I will be going through your stuff. Don't let me catch you with some weed. Whatever, right? I give him the whole threat. And see, the problem with my son, he thinks he knows he's 16, but he lived a longer life than me. The problem with my son is he always had an out to go back to his mom's house when he didn't like what was going on here. But, you know, his mom finally seen the light and seen that, you know, when he comes back living over there, he gets mad disrespectful. Now, it could be spiritual. I'm not there to see what's going on also, but that's just what's been going on with and she will always give him an out. So he always knew if things get too tough at my house, I'll go to my mama's house. See, but that's where it stops because he ain't got nowhere else to stay, right? And most of the time, it'll be her telling me he's coming to live with me, not he's going and then he stays and I can't get him back. She would make it because she thought I was just being too tough, but I'm not being hard on him. I'm just, when you mess up, you're going to get disciplined. But anyway, so I go back in the room tell my wife what's going on, and then to go back to tell him something, he's about to walk out the house. This is like 11 o'clock at night. It's like 11 something at night. Where are you going? Oh, I'm about to just take a walk in the apartment. I said, nah, you ain't taking no walk. You ain't taking no walk. I said, come here and stand by the door. Right? No, I tell my mother-in-law, she's in the living room, I said, make sure he don't walk out. Let me know, scream something if he walks out. So I go get my clothes on. I put something on. I said, come on, let's go take a walk. So now I go take a walk with him to go talk to him. See, I lived that life. I lived, like, I've been around drugs pretty much my whole life. My mom was on drugs, and it's stable. Hope it ain't shaking on y'all end. But, sorry about that. So, giving him the rundown, blah, 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 blah. You know, drugs, you know, weed is not cool. It'll make you lazy. No, it ain't. He knows more than me when it comes to weed. But I've been around people. I know the area where I live at. I said, this ain't nothing but you'll be trapped in this area. But you got so much potential. My son, he's one of those smart kids, very smart, could be somebody. He thinks he's gonna be somebody, but he thinks he knows everything. He's too smart for his own good. So he thinks, you know, he can smoke weed and be good. But he don't know how weed is. There's not a lot of people that smoke weed and really did good in life. Let me say that. They might have had some opportunities, but majority of the people that smoke weed, it's not a large percentage. Let me go ahead and say that. It's not a large percentage of people that smoke weed and really are on their game. Okay? Really on their game. Living a clean life. But you know, I give examples of my sister. I'm like, look where she live at. She been living there for about 4 years. She got no problems, no convictions, no nothing. But she smokes weed. So, you know, she smokes weed, so it just keeps her content where she's at. So, with that said, I'm giving him this talk. He's talking about he's gonna quit. You know, I'm like, keep on. Because, you know, I told him I'm not gonna even put you on punishment. I'm not gonna put you on punishment. He's already gonna get on punishment, but I'm not gonna put him on punishment. You know, he's talking about how, you know, I'm finding out that they smoking weed during passing period at school, and I'm like, that's alarming. You know, school got to know about this. School will only suspend you if they catch you with drugs, and then you are like on a half-year probation, I guess, for, you know, if you get caught with drugs again, then you could get expelled. You know, it's a little soft for me. You know, I think when I was in school, if you got caught with drugs, you was expelled. Wasn't no probation, wasn't no you're gonna be suspended. You was pretty much, you know, expelled for having drugs on the campus. But anyway, we're leaving from where we was talking at, and I'm like, look, man, trust and believe. I'm not gonna put my hands on you, because if I put my hands on you, you know, then the enemy's gonna make you think that I was abusive towards you, even though I haven't been abusive towards you. If I put my hands on you, if I do what I want to do, the enemy's gonna make it seem like you will always think that I was abusive towards you, even though you was in the wrong. See, because the enemy always wants to make you seem like you're in the wrong for doing what's right. It's the opposite. You see what I'm saying? Whatever God's plan is, they want to make it seem like you're wrong. The same thing with, like, if you don't support the gay community, you're wrong. You're a villain if you don't support the gay community. So that's how the enemy works. Same thing. Whatever God's word tells us when it comes to being parents and following his word in the Bible, if you do that, you're wrong for doing it. You see what I'm saying? But my son, he ain't trained in the word to understand the word, to do what the word is telling him. You see? So, you know, so, like I said, we on our way back to the house, and I'm telling them, like, man, keep on. If you don't quit, you know, it's gonna be some problems. What you gonna do? Send me to a group home? Okay. He pretty much told me, my son told me, he's 16, he said, it's my life. My body. I'll do whatever I please. He pretty much just said, I don't care what you just told me, I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing and ain't nothing you can do about it. That's pretty much what he just said to me, you know, his own father. It's my body, it's my life, I'm gonna do what I wanna do. But you live under my roof, right? You live under my roof, which is crazy. So I'm like, okay, keep on. You know, that little job you have, I can end that. I can end that job, have you at home all the time. Keep playing. You won't even have a job. You'll be a full-time babysitter with your sisters. Meaning, you come home from school and you watch your sisters. I could be that parent. But now we trying to give you some leeway, junior year, high school. We trying to let you be independent and go out with your friends. But, hey, I know how it was growing up. If you got siblings, you got to be responsible for those siblings until your parents come home from school. I ain't the first one. And there's many others that had to watch. If you was the older sibling, had to watch, had to put everything to the side to help, you know, raise your siblings while your parents is at work making money to take care of the household. This just how life is. You know, yeah, you can still go out every once in a while when you're free, when we're home. But he thinks he's supposed to be able to have freedom and do whatever. No, you're supposed to do what we tell you to do. We supposed to provide clothing, roof over your head, food to eat. That's it. And if we want to give you some money, we'll give you some money. It ain't no rules that say I'm supposed to give you money. Even if you are babysitting. We do that just to help you. So, I'm trying to get... Man, I was recording this whole time and didn't even know I was recording. Okay, so, you know, I come back in the house to talk to my wife, tell her what just took place with my son, right? So she, you know, we go outside to talk because we don't want to wake the babies up, and we don't want him hearing what our rooms is damn near touching each other. So, you know, we go outside, we go talk, right? Now, before I even go further, like I said, the enemy comes. He comes and goes, right? He'll try to play 2 people against you, 3 people against you, whatever it takes to make it seem like you crazy, right? So this whole week I've been trying to talk to my wife. Now, we ain't had no spiritual fights where she's act the fool and hit me or curse me out, right? But, you know, me trying to talk to her to tell her what's going on in our marriage, like I said, it's a lecture. It becomes a lecture to her now. That's what the enemy's using, a lecture. I'm lecturing her. But I'm not lecturing nobody. I'm just trying to talk, Just this past Thursday, she'll hit me with, when I correct her on something or something that don't have truth, it's, you're right, I'm wrong. You're always right, I'm always wrong. I'm the stupid one. And I'm like, I don't call you stupid. I never called you stupid. I just like standing in truth. It's always the truth. It's what's perceived to be the truth, and then it's the truth. God lives in truth. The enemy will try to perceive whatever it is and try to make it truth. Okay? He's been doing this trick, this strategy for years. So, I think it was Thursday or Wednesday. I said, look, I told her to come with me while I took trash out to the dumpster. I said, look, stop saying I'm always right, you're always wrong. I said, what? I don't call you stupid. I didn't marry a stupid wife. What do I benefit from me calling you stupid? What do I benefit from me trying to deceive you? We are one. You're my equal. We're one. The way I treat you is the way I would treat myself. It's the way I treat myself. I respect myself. I don't do none of the stuff that I used to do, the sinful stuff, the nasty stuff, the lying and all that. I don't do all that. I don't need me lying to you. What does that? That don't benefit me. Lying to you to make you seem like you're crazy or something's wrong with you or you're stupid or me trying to deceive her. So we had that talk, right? And before I even go further to what happened last night and how the enemy just he just jumps in and out. When you ain't mentally into the word and you don't know what truth is, the enemy is able to use you all the time, right? Put thoughts in your head, make you think things that ain't never happened, make you think things that never really took place. When I try to talk to her, she wants to say, like, yesterday I went to go get my car oil changed, and I'm just jumping from story to story. But anyway, I went to go take my car oil change, right? And I'm talking to her because we had an anniversary. You threw away all the anniversary gifts that I put thought into, flowers, sentimental stuff that I put. You threw it away the next day in a spiritual fight. She didn't even buy me a gift, not even a card. This is August 18th. We now sitting at September 17th. I still haven't got a gift. I haven't got a card. I haven't even got a sorry. But I still love my wife because I know who I'm arguing with. So when I bring this to her attention, she wants to tell me, well, at the time she feels like whatever her feelings is, she can have those feelings and that gives her the right to do whatever she wants to do. Even though for her spazzing out, I didn't do anything to you for you to be doing the things that you're doing. Like you ripped up our marriage license, you threw away my anniversary gifts, all because of what? All because of what? So she lives in her feelings. No, you ain't supposed to live in your feelings. You ain't supposed to live in your feelings. So anyway, I come in Friday evening, my stepson, He's 12 years old. Since I've been knowing him since he was 8, he's one of those crying kids. Is he a soft kid? No, he's not soft, like nerdy or anything, or someone that's not tough. He's just been a crier. You say something to him, he'll get to crying. He's one of those kids. Everybody know a kid like that. You may have one. So my mother-in-law she's been at the house for like the last 2 weeks. She goes back today. And my wife picked up her stepson this past Friday. So I come in the house from work. He got tears. Now, I'm like, he comes in. I'm like, hey, what's going on, DJ? And I noticed that he had tears. I said, what you crying for? My granny hit me with a ruler. Okay. Now, they was playing. He wasn't in trouble, but I guess she hit him too hard with the ruler. But he got tears. And I'm like, look, dude, I'm tired. His mom done said the same thing. His mom done told him, this crying stuff need to stop. I done told him, you're 12 years old. All this crying stuff, it needs to stop. You need to start toughening it up. Okay, you got hit with the ruler. It hurts. I'm sorry. You should not be tearing up. That hurt. Laugh it off. Y'all, if y'all was playing, laugh it off. But it should not get to the point that you're starting to cry. So I'm talking to him. I'm not yelling at him. I'm not screaming at him. I'm not calling him soft. I'm not calling him the P word. I'm not calling him a sissy. I'm not doing none of that stuff. I'm just talking to him. My wife in the kitchen butts in. So you saying that he can't cry? You cry. I said, I'm thinking to myself, like, when do I cry because I got hurt? When have I cried to you because I got hurt? I'm not saying that man cannot cry. Yeah, you should be able to express your feelings. You know what I'm saying? And you know, somebody pass away. I'm not saying, oh, you better not cry. Boys don't cry. But my such and such just passed. No, boys, I'm not doing that. Like, it's okay to cry, but if you crying for every little thing, you ain't supposed to be crying. Somebody tell you to take out the trash, you ain't supposed to be crying. Somebody tell you to put the video game up, you ain't supposed to be crying. Somebody tell you to sit down and watch TV because you've been on your social media platform, you ain't supposed to tear up. And if somebody hit you and you're playing, you should not be crying. So she used these examples like, oh, you cry and this, that, and this. And I'm like, no, I have never cried. I'm like, when did I ever cry? Because I got hurt. Even when you hit me, I ain't never cried. So the enemy just jumped into her where I'm having a talk with a man-to-man talk with the boy. Like, it ain't like I'm telling him, like, I can understand if I'm telling him something that is not true, and she's like, nah, you leading him down the wrong path. But me telling him not to be crying over the littlest things at 12 years old is not leading them down the wrong path. And I'm not saying that he ain't supposed to cry. He ain't supposed to have those emotions, because we all have those emotions, right? So, you know, I was upset about it. Like, I'm not saying that you need to stay in a woman's place, but I don't do that with her if she's talking to my son and she's giving him good advice. I don't butt in and say some stuff. I just let her eat. You know what I'm saying? So she didn't never once apologize. And we went on with the rest of the night. Whatever. Right? Didn't talk. They go to the enemy. Got a day off, 2 days off. Was it a pleasant 2 days off? Nope. Nah, can't never have a good 2 days off and be good with my wife and kids when I got 2 days off. The enemy always wants to interfere, and I have miserable 2 days off. Then I got to go back to work and be at the workplace. Like, I'm telling my wife, like, you're constantly fighting me. You're supposed to be my peace. I should not have to come home and deal with the enemy in my own home, because I'm already dealing with the enemy in these streets. I told her, I said, I'm tired of fighting you. I'm tired of fighting you. I'm tired of fighting you. You're the person I love, and I'm tired of fighting you. So anyway, and I had to bring up that story so y'all can have a better understanding. So now I'm talking to my wife about my son smoking weed, and I'm telling her the whole breakdown story of what took place, what was said, what was not said, and she tells me, it's funny how you get on DJ and you're yelling at me. First of all, I wasn't yelling at you. First of all, we trying to out-talk each other. I could do a lot better, you know, when with that whole situation with her son. But she's like, you gonna let your son disrespect you and you ain't gonna say nothing to him. You walked into the room all calm and collective last night, and you didn't even come at him like you came at me. And I'm like, here we go. This is the enemy. Like, where's this coming from? First of all, why would I go, if I knew that he was smoking weed in the bathroom, why do I got to go in there and get to yelling? It's 11 o'clock at night. The baby's asleep. Why would I go in there and yell? I think I handled it pretty calm. Took him outside, went to go walking. Now, the whole time, she got the same privileges as I do when it comes to talking to the kids. I don't say, well, you stick to your son and I stick to my son, but we got children together, so we could talk to the children that we have together one way. But when it comes to your son, you talk to him, and when it comes to my son, I talk to him. But this is how the enemy works, man. He tried to divide families up, and this is a form of trying to divide. So, you know, when she told me that he had weed, or the bathroom, go smell the bathroom, and I smelled the bathroom, I went in there and go talk to him, and then came in the room and talked to her for a quick second, she never once said anything about why you ain't yelling at him. You see what I'm saying? We just talking. But now, since we go dip and then go talk about, you know, after I just got done talking to him a second time, when he wanted to walk out the house, and we up in there, now it's, you gonna let your son punk you. Your son is, and the enemy always does the same game when it comes to, when my son does something, when he does something that he ain't supposed to be doing, and I know the enemy's involved, he would use her, and now she's coming at me like, you let your son punk him, but you don't talk to him, you don't talk to me, or you don't do the same thing with him that you do with me, and I'm like, you know, you don't punish him, I'm like, what you talking about? We just broke down everything that we can do, you know, and what we cannot do. But now I'm lenient on him, but I'm harder on her son. And I'm like, where was I hard? Your son ain't on no punishment. I didn't get on him. I just told him he had to stop crying. So now the enemy, but when you get in these type of talks, the enemy don't want to talk. Now I'm going to walk away. I'm going to walk away, letting you believe that whatever thought that he done put in her mind, now she don't want to talk now. Now she's walking out. Now all of a sudden, I got to get ready for work for the morning. But I'm like, I'm like, okay, this ain't nothing but the enemy, because now she's calling me names. She's like, you let your son, and she said, and I'm gonna use the word